CNN anchor just called out Trump in epic, cantimus rant. Watch. If you read President Trump's Twitter feed, you've probably concluded at least two things. 1. The president does not like the vast majority of media companies and constantly accuses them of lying whenever they say something negative about him. 2. The president himself lies, a lot. Those lies generate negative stories about him in the media, taking us back to point number 1. Brian Stelter is a host on CNN, one of the media companies that Trump does not like because as a news network, they report on his lies, making the president look pathological due to the sheer volume of mendacity in which he engages. Stelter played his part in the seemingly eternal cycle described above today on his program Reliable Sources. Given the title of the show, Stelter's comments on the president today can be seen almost as a disclaimer as he discusses the least reliable source in the U.S. government. President Trump is the leader of the United States. He is also a liar, Stelter began. This has been well documented. Lying was a big part of his business strategy. He called it truthful hyperbole. Now, as commander-in-chief, he misleads the public constantly. Stelter's comments harken back to the early days of the Trump administration when the media, observing a decorum they typically offer people qualified for the position they hold, hesitated when labeling the president's obvious misstatements as deliberate lies. For some in the media, those who were well trained throughout their entire careers to at least try to give the appearance of dispassionate reporting on the day's events, that reluctance to accurately describe Trump's truthless utterances as crassly as they deserve to be characterized has persisted. Many media consumers have called them to task for that failure to properly label the president's self-serving falsehoods. Stelter addressed those people's concerns directly on his program. I understand why many of you want news outlets to use the L word, lie, more often. You want us to affirm what we all see, that Trump has a truth problem, he said. You the public want us to recognize that it's damaging the country and you want us to rethink how we do our jobs as a result. Well, yes. It's not just the viewing public who want the talking heads on cable news to rethink their approach. The reporters themselves are beginning to reach the limits of their patience with hiding their incredulity in the face of lies so bold-faced they can barely make it through reading them on air without either cracking up or throwing their hands up in air in frustration. In fact, Stelter questioned whether news hosts should even bother reading Trump's tweets on air, especially after MSNBC anchor Nicole Wallace reached her breaking point on air while in the middle of reading a Trump tweet about Spygate, his latest conspiracy theory, and exclaimed with honesty and exasperation, "I'm not reading any more of this." These are bold-faced lies, and as his audacity and his sort of fantasies expand, I wonder what role you think the truth plays in this for any of them.